The topic for today's event, TiE SoCal event, is how to 10x your business from 1 million to 10 million and beyond. In short, zero to hero. There are plenty of hurdles in starting a business. However, once the business is started, getting to 1 million is not that difficult. It's getting beyond the 1 million is when you get stuck in the mud. And it is not easy getting out of that. It's when your car gets stuck in the mud and it's not easy getting out of that mud. But our panelists this evening were all able to get out, and they will tell you how. They will reveal their core secrets of how they got their car zooming again. We will have a fireside chat format where each will be asking the questions.
From defense parts to tiles. Manu bhai, everywhere I look in my house, I see tiles, and all of these tiles have, if I look at the boxes in which they came, it says MS International. So a day doesn't go by that I don't think of you. But it's not just me, it's thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people around the United States. Manu bhai, if you don't know, is the marble and stone king of the United States. It's shocking to hear how many million pounds of stones are in his inventory. And he's going to talk very good things about himself and the business. And he's going to get carried away. But I want to remind everyone present that he's done great in his life and is a wonderful human being. But his wife, Rika, started the business. So before he starts, we want to honor her. Could you please stand up and take a bow? Okay, now back to the husband, Manu. Could you tell us about your business and how you grew it?
Since you remember every time you see the tiles, just when you fall down, just don't think MS International. And don't contact any lawyer. So this idea of outsourcing, as everybody knows, well, my wife mastered it after starting the business. For 7 more years, we kept working from our home in export and import business. That was 75 through 82. This is the time America went from manufacturing towards the service industry. And all exports started disappearing. We used to export microprocessor, memory chips, all these things started. You can't export because nothing is made here. It's always made in Korea and Singapore and so on. So the other part we did, let's do what we can do in import. And the import we started in granite. So during the daytime, my wife will work. At night, I will work. That gave us one great idea that we must plan next day. So planning became very important part of what we were doing. And even today, all our 50 managers are all being asked to plan and plan A, plan B, and plan C to make sure you're executing, because 20% of the time you have to go plan B and 5% you may end up plan C. If you don't plan, 20% failure is too much failure. Right? Everywhere there should be a safety net. So that's how we kept doing it. And my wife, she just outsourced whole thing. She started using this word, outsourcing. You run the business. So that's why I'm running the business. Right? So we have grown. This 10x is pretty important part for us. Every 10 years we are going 10 times. So our first million we hit in 85, 86, then 96, 10 million, 2005, 6, 100 million, and 2016 we will hit 1 billion.
Congratulations.
And it's in our DNA to grow. I did not come to America not learning every day. And I'm trying to tell everyone at our company, You must improve, you must change, and you see what you can do to make process, procedure, service, customer relationship, each must be improved. If anybody is tired or they think they can't do it, they're on the wrong bus. Please go find another bus, another direction. Our DNA is growth and we'll stay with that.
Thank you, Manu Bhai. So I need for you to share, be very candid with us and share your secret. Manu Bhai, a written business plan, did you ever write one?
Our written business plan, the first one was on handkerchief. Right? Paper napkins, really. And it's recast, preserved somewhere. It was more like where we want to be 5 years and 10 years. We never made plan for within 1 year what we'll do. And the idea was that if we can set our target, which direction we are going, it doesn't matter whether we are taking path this way or we are taking path this way. But target is there. That's what, so for every 5 years, we kind of put our 5-year plan where we want to be. And it was never related to the money part. It was part of growth and in defined market segment, how we can capture market share. While I understand the top line growth and bottom line growth and gross profit margin growth, I have a very big regards to the market share. So every area we touch, if I was selling a monuments in California, I want to make sure within 30 months I'm a third largest player. If I'm selling in New England state, that's what I want to do. And starting with that, we have continued. That in 30 months and give 6 months startup, 36 months, whatever segment or product line we touch, we should be third largest player. All right, and we should put resources, focus, everything on it. And doing that has helped us probably 8 out of 10 times we are meeting our goal. Sometimes we do go 4 or 5 years, but in general, every product line we serve, we are either number 1, number 2, or number 3 right now. And that's what we want to stay that way. And biggest part of that one was quite often number 1 and 2, they were fighting with each other. They would not look at number 3 or number 10. So you become number 3 to 10. Whatever propelled you to come number 10 to 3, if you keep doing that and staying focused on it, very good, the momentum will take you number 2 and number 1. And that's what we have been doing.
So Manu Bhai, in your growth from $1 to $1 billion, you went through a lot of production and manufacturing. What strategy worked best for you?
Thank you for asking. Production was easy part. Mother Nature made it. Somewhere 100 million years ago. So question was the second part, the logistic part. How to bring those products. 38 countries. I used to love history, but a lot more geography, and that helped. India being exactly somewhere other side of the world was big help. So in the part of related to production, all countries in general has used stone. Remember, stone has been 7,000 years ago, there is known that it was being traded. It was just a question of how we come up with use of technology and globalization, how we can bring this stone from any town in the world to any town in America. It's all logistics, totally. Now, we are bringing material from something like 76 ports into from 76 ports in the world to 16 ports. The stone is being used everywhere. We just had to find right stone, and now we are in porcelain and quartz and all some of those things, but still stone is our main business. And all we had to do was find the suppliers who are willing to learn from us the quality requirement or consistency requirement a lot more than the quality, because Mother Nature produces everything. Very good stone, average stone, ugly stone. We just have to find a way to consistently market right stone to the right people under right name. And so that's again becomes all logistics, working with all the third world countries. We mastered that. And we mastered differently, but one of the biggest thing is we decided there is no such thing as other people's money. And we started telling all suppliers in India, Brazil, Turkey, China, Pakistan, the day you ship, we'll pay. And that made the big difference. So, while the brand name is a big thing in America, we have the best brand name on the purchase side. Every supplier wants to work with us because they know. And with that, it did something amazing which we had not anticipated. Every time very good stone comes, new stone comes, they will offer us first because they know our money is good. We will get a big volume out of them. And because of that reason, we many times stay ahead of other people. So the production is not the issue. So Mother Nature has produced it, how we bring it here.
Wonderful. Manu bhai, a word on HR?
We have several strategy on HR, but the most important strategy, and that's the question I always answer this way. If we get hire the most experienced, most talented, and most adaptable person, we choose the adaptable person. The world is changing too fast. What they are doing is changing too fast. We want those who can adapt much faster, and the rate of change is increasing. So we look at it, that person when we hire, what adaptability he has shown. Many of immigrants are adaptable. They love the country. They came to a new area. They see the new language, new food, new way of living, and they adapt to that. So we want to make sure they are adaptable. The same thing, Americans born here, but if they have traveled, they have done, their father was working army and they moved around and they went to 3 different schools, they become adaptable, finding friends, doing things. So most priority we give is the adaptability of the people we hire. And that's very important part of it. Then once they are hired, we give them a purpose, what we are doing, and freedom to innovate. That's very important for us. They must able to feel, our family should feel we are really, instead of outside company, it's within our company. Every year we must produce 10 managers who will exceed $10 million of sales, either in purchase or in sales. All right, or in some management. We do that. Every year, last 3 years, we have grown roughly $100 million every year. And that can happen only we have a collection of people who has purpose and who have freedom to know it.
Manu bhai, what is your competition doing better than you?
Okay, our competition does many things. Today, I had a well-to-do person came with his architect. And he says, I'm looking for Italian or French limestone. I had to politely say, we don't keep either of them. Right? That's this ultra high end of the market. Our aim is to go make stone and anything else we sell should be affordable and accessible. That's our aim. That means It should be available in every corner of America, and it should be affordable to the middle class. So we keep driving, keep volume up and driving the cost down. We do not sell the high-end Italian marble. We sell, but we don't sell them. From marble, limestone is another notch. Everybody knows Italian marble. You go to the limestone, French limestone, it's one level up. Sorry, we don't kill it. So yes, our competition does that very well.
So business opportunities, Manu bhai, what do you see out there?
We see opportunity everywhere. The second question comes, which is opportunity right for me, my team, or my company? All right? This is very important. It's not the opportunity out there, what matches my ability to those opportunities. Every year, as many opportunity we grab, 10 times opportunity we let go. And many of them, historically, it turns out, we made more money by not touching that opportunity because we would have sure lost something. So we are spending quite often time what not to touch and what to touch. But always remembering what our abilities are. Good example is we are distributing product here in America everywhere, 40,000 truckloads a year. Why we are not selling any in India? And I looked at it. And I realized, and I went there, and after 3 days of study, I came to conclusion I would be miserable failure, that opportunity. Even though it's a big business. Everything is cash business there. At the end part of, and here we don't deal with the cash. We don't know how to deal with it. How to deal with the corruption or government and all those things go, we don't know. So we said, we're going to buy from there, we're not going to sell in India. We stayed away. Because that opportunity definitely is not for us. That doesn't mean other people who are doing there, right or wrong, whatever they're doing, we are fine. We just did not touch. The same thing applies to somewhat to Mexico. We're not distributing. We're distributing in Canada. But Mexico, there are issues, but sooner or later we are going to deal with it. We are working. So at the end, we have to look at it, what opportunity is right for us.
Next question, Manu bhai, is what's the biggest obstacle you faced in your business and how did you overcome it? And if you could go back, how would you avoid that obstacle?
The biggest obstacle I face is me. I'm an engineer. I over-engineer everything. Okay. And every time I solve the problem when I simplify those over-engineering. Quite often I struggle, and then my wife comes and gives me a kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what she does. Right? Okay, let's make it simple. All right, it works. So, I had to cut down over engineering. Our two sons are running the business. They also are not engineers, and they've done wonder. And that's one of them is sitting there, Manu Shah. And so they all try to make things simple, and that obstacle, as if I had to redo it, I wish in all engineering college and other colleges, there should be 1 year free to do become a street smart. And let people learn this. Most problem we face as a business owner are common sense problem. It doesn't require big degree. And we try to solve with our education rather than our common sense. If I have to redo it, everything I want to solve more with common sense, maybe with this.
So along with success comes troubles and problems and sleepless nights. What is the price of the success you've achieved in life?
I don't like to call me successful. It's a fun journey for me, my wife, my family. There are twists, there are turns, there is jumping and there's bumping. We go through all, but we have fun. And we continue. To me, our aim or direction we are going is a lot different than somebody else. So I don't want to measure success, we have $1 billion sales or this, but our passion is about certain things. And when we achieve those things, getting better, we feel great about it. Today, my passion, I came in 1967, and anybody who are older than me was saying, remembers the condition of India at that time. There were no jobs for engineers. 57, we were waiting in line to get PL 480 red wheat. Okay, in those, 62 war, India had lost with China, lost 20,000 kilo square meter of land. In 65, Pakistan war was standoff, nothing happened. So in that scenario, when you are 20, 22, 19 years old, your blood is boiling. And one of them was creating jobs. If I ever get a chance, I'm going to create jobs and jobs and jobs. And fortunately, our journey has taken, today our company supports over 100,000 direct jobs worldwide. Over 100,000. This is not the secondary job there. Half of those jobs are in rural area of the world. Average people who are human, they love their streams, they love their river, they love their lakes, they love their hills, they love their forest. But there are no jobs. So what happens? They move to the big city. They become part of the slum. We are doing our small way to keep those people away from big cities. And that's really what we are trying to do. If you want to call success, go ahead. To me, it's still a journey.
Thank you, Anand.
So this is a question I had for Manu Bhai, is, what I have, in my own journey, what I have noticed is that when I face very severe adversity in business, and there are 2 or 3 things that stand out in history, and I'm in a dark place, what I found that I usually find myself reading Marcus Aurelius and about Stoicism, and that gives me the strength. And Marcus Aurelius says that you should be grateful for adversity, because adversity is probably the best teacher. So you've had a remarkable 30-year journey. Maybe you could talk about one or 2 points where the business faced, or you faced very severe adversity, and so what came out of that, what caused it, and what was the kind of was there something that came out of that helped you later get to higher heights than you had in the past?
Thank you, Manish.
So, most business adversity, we have to kind of think of it. You're a juggler, bouncing ball, not 1, 2, up to 16 balls, and not walking on the floor, but you are now on the wire ropes, and wire rope is not 5 feet, but it is 16 feet or 18 feet up. All right? So now you're juggling, and 1 ball falls down. Now what are you going to do? You let all remaining 15 balls fall down, or you just hang on to those 15 balls. So adversity is that way. Let's keep doing what you're doing. Take deep breath. So my worst adversity came in 99. As good as health I was given by God, I abused every part of it. and it's unfortunate. I was never sick, never went to hospital. I was ignoring the signs that I have a problem. And I got stuck with heart attack in 99 December. And I kept saying, holding my wife hand in my mind, no, Manu, you're going to hang on. Too many people depends on job for you. You have to make sure you come out. Okay? Which worked. I recovered, and bang, 3 months later, another heart attack. All bypass failed. Okay? So that was really scary one. But again, you kept saying, no, this is not the end. I got to keep working at it. And give me my own hope, my wife, my family, all supported. I came out of it. It's been 15 years. I'm in great health. And I preach wellness to everybody. The magic grill is part. All right. And at our Jain Center and now at Jaina 65 Jain Center, we are rolling out, telling how South Asians should keep the wellness in mind. Our triangle, which is made up of everything from family value, career, academics. Somewhere exercise or wellness doesn't belong there among South Asians. And I'm glad he has brought that out. I wish everybody else looks at it. It's such an important part. Or I'm here today to tell my story. There was a good chance I wouldn't be here. And I can't tell my story. So that adversity at the time, keep faith and keep telling yourself, you're going to do all right. You're going to do all right. And it happened. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Manu bhai.
I am launching a technology company, and in a technology company, IP could be a barrier to entry. What are the barrier to entries that other people cannot do what you are doing right away?
So in stone business, yes, there is no barrier to entry. Anybody with a cousin who is a factory in India or China or Brazil can start importing. Okay, that's not, and they do. There are over recorded 600 importer from Brazil alone. Okay? The question is, so be it. Okay? Can we do efficiently enough that we are not looked upon as middlemen? We are looked upon as a source. We give them flexibility of buying tomorrow what they need, not 90 days ahead they need. Right? So that's how we diffuse many. Now, on the other hand, we are in stone business, one of the oldest business in the world. We are probably the most technologically advanced company in the stone business. We have a 42 people IT department that keep us on the edge, ahead of all the analyst team. We have all kind of things which we stay ahead. Basically, MSI stands for moving at the speed of information. Okay? All right? And our IT department keeps our information moving.
Which person inspired you the most as you were growing up or as you were doing your business? And if any books you like to read, we know Navjit's book, but anything else you can share?
Okay, fine. What do you want?
Madhuba, you can start.
Well, to me, Mahatma Gandhi has been very inspiring in his own way. Not necessarily just for freedom, which everybody knows he was a freedom fighter in India and all that. But there were so many other things he did innovatively. And that, to me, he was an innovative leader. Okay? And that's, to me, leadership is all about who can bring innovation. So, to the extent he brought all this innovation in Hindu religion and caste system and how to protest non-violently and all these things. It was very inspiring. You could do all these things and you don't have to be just do with the wars, okay, and with the machine guns and all these things. So to me it's very inspiring, and I keep in mind many of the things he is saying, not everything, but most of those things are very inspirational to me.
Yeah, so one common thread all of you have is you do have suppliers in each of your businesses. You have the food suppliers, you have the stone suppliers, you have the industry part suppliers. And I heard a little bit earlier about Manu Bhai having this innovative idea where you pay them when they ship, which is very different than most people in the industry. Can you share with us how do you engage with suppliers where they want to do more business with you? How do you ensure quality from them? And how do you ensure like what Apple's or the world are doing where they're doing good business practices themselves?
Sanjay, you get to pick one panelist.
Let's go with Manu Bhai.
So one of the things we do is all our suppliers, we stay a little bit away from major suppliers. Okay? We find a supplier where owners are actually involved, okay? Not somebody sitting in Beijing or Delhi monitoring his business away from or Istanbul and the factories away. We want those who are actually involved in whatever they're doing. And we work with them, we promise volume, we keep improving volume every year. In return, we say take the cost out of doing whatever it is. You know, it's very difficult to think in America, the volume part, but in the world there, the volume is mind-boggling. You know, if you go to China and say, hey, I'll time 5 times that much, you'll say, yeah, 30% cost will drop, right there. Okay, and that's the kind of things we want to bring to see that they use all the resources they have to bring the volume with the right quality and packaging. It's equally important for us packaging besides what is inside, what looks from outside.
In your organization, what type of role your inventory management philosophy, your professional management philosophy, and also salesman compensation methodology plays a role? I'm sure those three are of many things. These are very important for your success. I would like to learn what is that you guys are doing compared to your competitors.
Sales, inventory, and management. 3 questions in one.
Well, like I said, we want to give purpose. So our manager has a purpose to turn the inventory faster. And what it will take to get all the data inputs from our suppliers. For example, Home Depot, over 30-35% of sales is to Home Depot. They feed us data hourly, what is sold in 2,000 stores. It's a gigantic data of information which we have a program to analyze to cut down to a meaningful decision next day. All right? 150 truckloads we sell every day, we must buy 150 truckloads. It could be any country. So we have our manager is here too, Sam Kim, and Roop is also here. I mean, anybody wants to talk more, both are here. You can talk to him about inventory management. You know, there are all kind of report, reorder report, last 3 months sell, last 12 months sell, and you know, which geography. I mean, there's all kind of spread analysis of everything. It's like mining the data. Okay. So on the sales part, it's little more difficult. It's both supply, demand, and much more is improvement from where they start. Every salesman has their reason why they've done best and what they could not have done better. All right? They have that I have a tough market, you don't know how things are to sell in that Brooklyn area or Valley area of LA, and you have to face this situation. Some other will say, well, yeah, our gross profit margin is low, but look how much our sales growth is. And third person will say, look, yeah, he got easy, this person, because he got a territory. It's a virgin territory, everything. So it gets a little complicated. But since we have data over 100 salespeople, it's very easy for us to kind of measure and come up with answers. Again, you can talk to our son Rup a little more, very part of it, but it will be, you can understand more in details, okay?
Thank you, Manu bhai.
Yeah, actually, for me, I want to ask about marketing, what marketing technique has worked for each of you the best. And for me, actually, TiE has what took my business from 300 to 3 million in 2 years. So for me, my marketing technique is networking with TiE, incorporating technology and other things that I learned from other TiE members and chart members. But each of you, if you can explain to me what was your best marketing technique you used that helped grow your business like really big.
So,
Very hard.
let me go
My part, I'm an engineer and I don't care much about marketing. Right? All right, but that doesn't mean my company don't care. My philosophy is if you plan the sales, purchase, people, geography, inventory level, everything right, you don't need much marketing. I've been proven wrong few times, and word is changing. Actually, today marketing is far more complicated than it used to be, particularly with social networking and internet and everything. So we do have a department which does a wonderful job on marketing, but don't underestimate everything else doing right. It boosts a lot of things in the marketing. Itself is a marketing.
So Rupesh, in a lot of ways, your father had it easy, right? He had the immigrant hunger. You don't. There is plenty of money in your life that your kids and grandkids don't need to work. So I don't know why you would work and not just enjoy life. And I want to ask you, what have you learned from your father? And this mantle, this responsibility to grow from 1 billion to 10 billion X is on your shoulders. And what are you going to do about it?
In terms of money, what did you learn? I think it's very simple. It's been echoed by some of the panelists, is the money is a shadow. It doesn't drive you. And of course you heard the background we grew up in, but growing up as a young child, our family vacations were going to cemeteries where he was trying to sell tombstones. And I never think back and say, why weren't we going off to France? I think of those as some of the best vacations. So when you're brought up in that culture, it's not money that drives you, it's opportunity. And I think, as I have my own child and we have an 8-month-old, I'm very cautious of trying to maintain that same culture, which is drive. And I can't say, I believe the drive came from my parents, and it's never been about money, and I hope it never becomes about money. We spend very little time, you heard him talk about market share. There's a lot of people from MSI here. They'll spend 90% of the time talking about market share, not profitability. And so that's also in our culture of our company. In terms of the second part of the question, going 10 times from here, the opportunity is certainly there. So it's ours, the next generation, to screw up or get it right. But there's definitely the opportunity.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good. I had brainwashed my kids when they were very young that an Indian vacation is going to Costco. It lasted a few years. I know all of you want to ask individual questions to the panelists, so I'm going to let them loose. And I want to thank Rupesh and Sean. Sean, his wife is due any minute, and it's very nice of him to be here. And I hope all is well and stays well for the next 2 hours. Thank you, Manu Bhai. Thank you, TK, and thank you, Anu Reddy. And thank you, all of you.